See some familiar faces out there, and for those who I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, I'm Josh Jacobs, CEO of Speakeasy Company. To be more specific on today's topic, we're here to discuss how to develop a digital presence that drives sales. At the core, we're here to discuss control for the first time. Control over your data, control over your customer relationships, and what it all boils down to, control over your own destiny. What do I mean by control over your own destiny? There we go. Wow, that's a big number. Soak it in for a moment. We supported the Tesla tequila launch where we sold tens of thousands of lightning bolt-shaped bottles, which resulted in over $10 million sold. While we're all not Elon, my point is this is a serious sales channel for the bev alc industry. Raise your hand if $1 million sold in the first year of a project would be considered a success. All right, some hands. Well, we have a number of Speakeasy partners who've already eclipsed over $1 million in sales, and they're still climbing every day. Before we dive into some digital strategies, I just wanted to highlight where digital can support brick and mortar and even be more effective in certain situations. So starting with the top left, new to market. This goes for both new brands and new SKUs, since as a supplier, you're entirely removed from the end customer transaction in a bar, restaurant, or liquor store. All you have is your bottle and label on a shelf or name on a menu, which is just not enough real estate to share your story and have any hope of altering the consumer's buying behavior. You need another platform for engagement. Limited inventory. If you're offering single barrel, small batch, limited release craft products, you simply lack enough product to stock liquor stores around the country, which can be incredibly complex to navigate. For example, to get your hands on a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle, Whistle Pig's Boss Hog, you need to drive 50 miles, court the liquor store owner over years, give up your firstborn child. It's crazy. And don't get me wrong, some exclusivity is certainly cool, but this leads us to the third challenge, presentation. As the brand owner, your message is being soured. At a minimum, it's being muddied since you have no control over that user experience. Since Prohibition, we've seen incredible innovation on the product side, but not as much innovation on the sales side. For decades, brands have turned to in-store sampling to get ahead of competition. And while this direct consumer interaction is effective, everyone else is playing the same game, and leveraging an army of ambassadors from around the country is also extremely expensive. And the number of consumers that walk through a single liquor store, even on the best night, is severely limited. It's clear you cannot sit back, produce amazing juice, and expect to grow. You need to be thinking about marketing, and in particular, digital marketing. Why are we so confident in the answer? Why are we so confident in digital? First, we've seen existing Speakeasy partners successfully leverage digital to get ahead of competition. This includes emerging brands all the way up to Jägermeister, Bacardi, Sazerac, Whistle Pig, and everything in between that we work with today. Then stepping back on a macro level, brands outside of the alcohol industry invest very heavily in online. They leverage their social media, their website, their entire digital presence to engage with consumers, indoctrinate them into the brand, and ultimately convert them. This has been more challenging in the alcohol industry, which is why so many brands continue to overlook digital when it can be such a powerful tool. The 3 steps to scaling online that we've laid out here today are discovery, engagement, and conversion, which are feasible in the alcohol industry just like they are outside. We've distilled this down into 6 tangible components we'll very lightly touch on today, and if you're interested in diving deeper, let's make sure to connect afterwards. Regardless of how amazing your product is, if no one's ever heard of you, you simply will not succeed. Build it, and they will not come. Ask any wholesaler here how they feel about you not investing in marketing and entirely relying on them. It's a partnership. The right wholesaler can be a game changer to get your product on the shelves, but that's only part of the battle. Fortunately, you have these incredible tools at your disposal. The most common concern we hear from brands concerned about entering digital is around cost intimidation. And let me completely eradicate any concerns. With a budget as little as $3,000 a month, we're seeing existing Speakeasy partners leveraging an optimized combination of these tools to get ahead of competition. We run, what was that? Sold? We got one. With a budget as little as $3,000 we talked about, brands are materially propelling their companies. And we run performance marketing for about 20 brands today, including Ginger 9, a very unique sour cherry liqueur. And we scaled them from a couple $100s a month to over $30,000 a month in sales with very limited budgets. And on the other end of the spectrum, this can be a very material sales channel, even for the largest brands here, as we saw demonstrated by Tesla Tequila. The tippity top of the funnel is discovery. And within discovery is both traffic, and awareness. Awareness is all about getting consumers familiar with your products, even subconsciously familiar with your products. Therefore, awareness will help drive brick and mortar sales as well. And it's a very inexpensive solution to reach enormous populations very quickly, much larger and much faster compared to in-store sampling. Traffic, one step lower in the funnel, is all about driving clicks to your website. Diving even more granularly, it's vital to segment your campaigns by different audiences. For example, you're going to want to speak very differently to someone who's never been exposed to your brand versus someone who's been exposed previously, versus someone who's purchased in the past, versus one of your super fans who's purchased many times before. For example, a great way to tap into new audiences is through different partnerships. WhistlePig and their collaboration with Hall of Fame baseball player David Ortiz, Cedar Ridge Whiskey and the band Slipknot, Eastside Distilling and Frito-Lay, and many more that we have supported. And if, once you have customers, it's then really important to continue to keep your website and your shopping cart fresh. One terrific solution is through limited time offers, as highlighted here through a project we did with Bacardi and an ugly Christmas sweater bundle. One particular medium I wanted to take a moment to highlight is email marketing. It might sound basic, but it truly can be a sales powerhouse. First, it's as close to free as you can get. Second, having an email capture tool will help you maximize the dollar spent driving traffic to your website because you can get back in front of these individuals. And don't forget, you can build your email lists across different platforms and events, including in person. And this brings us to our first key takeaway of the day, to launch an email capture tool right away and start collecting email addresses anywhere and everywhere, even if you're not ready to build lookalike campaigns or start creating automated email sales funnels. There we go. Many brands are investing too heavily in discovery, though, while overlooking engagement. However, without the proper foundation, you might be fruitlessly burning cash. This is a really important piece I want to take a moment to drive home, since alcohol is so experiential. I often juxtapose it with selling a watch, where you might be served an ad, like the way it looks, and wind up purchasing it in a matter of a couple of minutes. Unfortunately, with alcohol, it's not all about the bottle and label, unless you're Tesla, of course. You need to develop a story that resonates with your target audience and drives sales and helps move the needle. Customers want a story that they can share with friends. For example, as we have highlighted here, Mike Rowe from Discovery Channel's Dirty Jobs, he launched Noble Spirits on a platform. And their whole company is about supporting the mission to redefine the definition of a good job and a good education, and every bottle sold is supporting the brand and also the foundation. And bottles are absolutely flying on the shelves. Pretty cool stuff you can do when selling a bottle of whiskey. To avoid negating the effectiveness of a killer brand story, you're going to also want to invest in the user experience. This includes a mobile-friendly website, modern design, professional photography. Believe it or not, something as seemingly as trivial as the color of a button can significantly impact conversion rates. Through A/B testing, you can optimize the entire flow of your website. 2 rules of thumb to leverage out of the gate, including minimizing clicks all the way to conversion, and also prioritizing your top-selling SKUs on the page. After you're discovered, you then engage, but at the end of the day, it's all about driving conversions and the accompanying data. Speaking of data, digital presents an unparalleled opportunity to start collecting first-party information. Some of our partners are not even targeting profitability. They're just looking to maximize liquid to lips and data collection. While this is a low bar that we're consistently surpassing, the data is gold. It can be leveraged to guide brick and mortar strategies, liquid development, package design, marketing, and virtually every single part of your business. Which brings us to the second key takeaway of the day, to implement tracking via Google Analytics and Facebook Pixels right away, even if you're not ready to start data mining or running online ads. Through data, you can identify who, what, when, where, and why consumers are enjoying your product. Then with incredible precision, craft an omnichannel strategy to meet your consumers where they are. And we'll touch on a couple of these strategies really quickly. Regardless of how compelling your story is, the majority of consumers are only willing to invest so much effort. The modern consumer's attention span has shrunk considerably. We expect fast, simple, and easy. Plainly put, consumers are lazy. I personally don't deny it. This means you need to minimize time from discovery all the way to purchase. It's simple, but you're going to want to have in your navigation, likely other places as well, a Find Us button, so consumers can identify the closest locations where your products are available. If the Find Us button is buried or not an easy tool as depicted here on the WhistlePig site, you're going to lose a significant % of sales. While the Find Us functionality is a must, in the Amazon era, many consumers will prefer the convenience of delivery direct to the doorstep. Capitalizing on impulsivity is ideal, which means capturing the sale online. And this brings us to the third key takeaway of the day. There are a number of online platforms from Drizzly to GoPuff and countless online retailers from Total Wine to Bevmo that might be already carrying your product for no additional cost. Therefore, it's a no-brainer to have direct links from your website to these marketplaces so all your hard work after discovery and engagement is realized. If you're going to go all in, though, and unlock the full potential of scaling online, you're going to want to consider a white label solution. When working with a marketplace, you lose control over the user experience, the look, the feel, the design. There are a lot of brands and other distractions that can get in the way. For example, at the bottom of your product page on a marketplace, other competitive products are going to be highlighted. So you might pay for a click on Instagram, drive traffic to one of these marketplaces, and be generating sales for a competitor. Then in terms of data, you have no ability to track whose products are being purchased or what that corresponding ROI is. As far as ownership, you don't own that email address even if you drive a sale for one of your own products. So you can't leverage that data for remarketing purposes, and you're effectively building up that marketplace's e-commerce business and not your own. With a white label solution, you'll truly be transformed into an e-commerce company and have access to the tools, capabilities, and analytics of selling direct to consumer while remaining 3-tier compliant. As pictured here through our partnership with Jägermeister, it's a completely native experience on the right-hand side. Taking this full circle, you'll be able to run a paid social media ad, engage them with your killer story, and convert them right on your website. Additionally, you'll own the data to feed into your automated email sales funnel and continue to monetize the lifetime value of that consumer. Through e-commerce, you can unleash your full marketing creativity, including limited liquid releases, influencer partnerships, merchandise bundles, cocktail kits, personalized labels. The sky's the limit, as you can see highlighted here through some of our past projects. We have a partner who's sold over $1.5 million in the first 12 months on the Speakeasy platform, and this year we're targeting to eclipse over $4 million. And the success our partners are experiencing, truly just the tip of the iceberg, as we're continuing to learn, optimize, and invest more month over month. And if I have not already convinced you of the importance of digital, let Rabobank close the gap. E-commerce alcohol is already valued over $6 billion and is projected to be the #1 driver of industry growth over the next decade. The #1 driver of industry growth over the next decade. Digital simply must be one of your top priorities. E-commerce is booming, but it's still nascent, so the future is bright, and it's your job to go out and seize it.